Indiana defensive line is being slept on once again as Miami fans are talking all about their enormous size on the offensive line. Now, you would think this wouldn't happen with many people talking about the Indiana, how old they are and everything else. And you'd think you'd have all these big guys in your defensive line. But in fact, you do not because Indiana loves to play football a certain way. And we're going to look at the film and show you a little bit of that here. But before we do that, I want to remind you a little bit of what these Miami fans have been saying. And not just Miami fans, it's been some SEC fans too. But a lot of these SEC fans shut up about it after they saw how big the Alabama offensive line was and how they were virtually no match for the Indiana defensive line, who completely tore them apart in that game. And we're going to show you some film from that. So the Miami offensive line, you have right tackle Francis Maugoa. I apologize. I'm going to say some of these names wrong. I just think it's saying names. All right, 6'6", 335 pounds. Right guard Inez Cooper, 6'6", 350 pounds. James Brockermeyer, 6'3", 295 pounds. And then they have two different guys that play left guard, Samson Okulola and Matthew McCoy. Appreciate you having an easy name to say there, Matthew. Both about 6'6", 325 pounds. I think McCoy might be like 330 or something like that, but about the same size between the two of them. There's really no drop off. And then of course the left tackle, 6'9", 340 pounds, Mikel Bell. The largest defensive lineman for Indiana is Tyreek Tucker, who is listed at only 6', 302 pounds. If you've been on Twitter, you've probably seen a picture of Mikel Bell and Tyreek Tucker next to each other, and it is not the most flattering picture in the world for Tyreek Tucker, as he does kind of dwarf Mikel Bell there. So Tyreek Tucker, 6', 302 pounds, is the largest defensive lineman Indiana has. Daniel Ndukwi is 6'3", but weighs only 240 pounds when you talk about him. Let me double check that. I still can't believe the size of some of these Indiana offensive linemen. You go to the website of the Indiana roster, and yep, 6'3", 244 pounds is his official listed size there on the Indiana website. I mean, it is pretty spectacular. They have some of the guys at the size that they are playing on this defensive line. Not that it's like bad or anything. Just I love it because it screams how good, how well coached, and how good this team is that they're doing it this way. In addition to that, Mikel Kamara, 265 pounds, only standing 6'1". Dominic Radcliffe, he is 6'3", 295 pounds. You could probably say he's the biggest defensive lineman because of his height there, but the heaviest one is definitely Tyreek Tucker at 302. And then Mario Landino, 6'4", 284 pounds. Now, with me listing off all those guys, Indiana only has one over 300 pounds, and almost every single guy that in Miami starts, other than their center, which makes sense, is over 300 pounds. You'd think, all right, well, Miami should be able to tear Indiana apart in the run game. They shouldn't be able to get by them. Well, teams have thought that this season. It's not exactly worked out for them. So let's see a couple clips here. And if you're listening on podcast, I do apologize, but this might just be one of those ones that you want to go to YouTube and check us out. We appreciate our podcast listeners so much, and you all have been fantastic. There's just sometimes I need to actually show people without trying to explain it. So here is a pass rush from Tyreek Tucker against Isaiah World of Oregon. And this just shows how important it is to not just be somebody with size, but to have somebody that is agile and able to kind of not be sloppy big. And Isaiah World is a really good left tackle. He's had some moments where he wasn't as good this season. He struggled when Denied Dennis Sutton would kind of get up into him and push him back a little bit more. But this is just a really good move here by Mikel Kamara. Let's go ahead and watch. Boop, boop, spin, and Isaiah World on his butt. I mean, and look at it. He's all sprawled out right there. I mean, that's a pretty crazy move right there. Doop doop, spin on his butt, leveraging his size, and because he is so much smaller, Mikel Kamara, than Isaiah World, who Isaiah World is, I think I wrote it down here. Isaiah World is 6'8", 318 pounds. So he's a little bit smaller, but not much than Mikel Bell, the left tackle of Miami. Now, Mikel Bell, I think, is going to be a much more highly coveted prospect in the NFL than Isaiah World is. But still, it just goes to show that even at that size, you're going to have issues, pass protecting against a guy like Mikel Kamara, who can utilize his weight in such a way that gets you shifting your weight back and forth, and then without you being able to shift back, you're just falling on your butt, all sprawled out, and that's kind of the way Isaiah World was there. All right, let's move back. Let's move to some of the Alabama film here. All right, so at 252, Kamara beats Caden Proctor on this one. Let me bring it up here. I gotta scroll here. I should have set this up beforehand. All right, and I gotta play this at like slowed down speed so that way YouTube doesn't get mad at me. But just bear with me. So Caden Proctor is going to beat Caden Proctor. Mikel Kamara is going to beat Caden Proctor here, the left tackle, who is 6'7", 366 pounds. Huge. All right. He's going to beat him. Doop. Inside. Beats him so well. The running back passes him by. I mean, he's running route, so it's not that big of a deal, but still, he's going to get to the inside. Ty Simpson, good sidestep there, but then look at Tyreek Tucker here, beating Cam Dewberry, who is 6'4", 332 pounds, and hitting him. Now, they don't get to him to, bring him down for the tackle or anything like that, but it's still very impressive those guys are able to get by their guys like that. We'll watch it one more time here. Watch Mikel Kamara utilize his weight against Caden Proctor, 366. He just doesn't have the agility to stay with a guy like Mikel Kamara like that. He gets a little bit of a step, which, props to Caden Proctor. He was even able to get a hand on him. Isaiah World wasn't even able to get a hand on him. But he gets around him. The bend there of Caden Proctor looks like he's in desperation mode, utilizing his hands, getting around. Caden Proctor has no choice but to try and hold, gets him a little bit there, but nothing much. Tyreek Tucker, if you go back and watch where he was, he just keeps moving to the side and taking away Dewberry there. Excellent play here by Indiana. Would have been better if they had actually gotten to Ty Simpson and brought him down, but Ty Simpson is on the run, moving around. He has no other place to go. All right, let's move to 1330. I have written down. This is one where Tyreek Tucker beats Parker Brailsford to take out Cam Dewberry to free up Landino in the run game. So we saw some pass rushing. Here's some run game. I want you to pay attention right here. The nose tackle, Tyreek Tucker, going up against the center, Parker Brailsford. He is going to cut into the left guard here for Alabama, which is going to bring Mario Landino. He's going to go on a bit of a stunt here in the run game, which is kind of risky to do, but Indiana does it so well. He's going to go on a stunt here over Tyreek Tucker, bring himself into the middle all by himself, and he has the good enough size that he is able to take him out. Now, again, Mario Landino here playing defensive tackle, essentially. I mean, he's inside the tackle here, essentially playing defensive tackle for Indiana at 6'4", 284 pounds. And they can't do anything because of the schematics here of Indiana. See how he's going to move to the side. It does kind of go in their favor because Alabama uses zone gap scheme or zone running scheme here, not gap scheme, zone scheme here, which I do not love personally, but it's what they do. Maybe they change up their run game and it'll be different. But Tyreek Tucker just picks. I mean, you can tell it's intentional. He's putting his head down. He is running into Cam Dewberry there, picks him, and then when all the slush is out of the way, who's left in the middle? That's right, Mario Landino makes the tackle, and the Alabama offensive line isn't athletic enough to even reach the second level before you have three Indiana defenders all there to bring him down. So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that Indiana has been doing all season long that teams have really not had an answer for. And like I said, it's kind of risky to do if you don't do it well. That's one of the reasons why not every team is out here doing this kind of stuff. But when you do it well, it is really, really good. All right, another pick here by Tyreek Tucker to free up Kamara. I believe this is a pass rushing one. So just showing you how they utilize the pick in different ways. Actually, this one might be another rushing one. So here, we'll watch it and then we'll get back to it. So watch Tyreek Tucker here in the middle, the way he's going to be utilized to pick for Kamara, who's over here on the side. Yeah, I have to play it at such a slow volume. Sorry, not picking for Kamara there. He is able to pick and free up the three linebackers there to be able to make the play there in the middle. So Oh, that's the next one. The next one's Kamara. I apologize. So essentially, what you have here is the Indiana defensive line. They all confuse the offensive line for Alabama, right? Because you have the bear front here. You have five guys down, right? And so you're gonna have all five guys here on the line of scrimmage. Well, you're gonna send three. You're going to drop this guy into coverage. These two linebackers are both going to stay and play linebackers, Jones and Aiden Fisher. And then by Indiana utilizing their pick method with essentially all three guys, they are going to take up one, two, three, four Alabama offensive linemen, which leaves Aiden Fisher, Isaiah Jones, easy tackle there in the middle. Because they are taking up so many of those guys, Alabama can't climb to the next level. You get an easy double tackle there for Jones and Fisher, who are already good enough linebackers. They don't need to double tackle, but that's how good they are. So next one, this is a little bit later. All right. So next one here. This is actually when Austin Mack was in the game. I believe this is a pass rushing one. So watch how Tucker frees up Kamara with a pick in this one as well. Tucker, I believe, is right there. They do this with Tucker all the time. He's utilized in this way all the time. Watch Tucker come in, moves to the side, boom, three blockers right there for Alabama. Three blockers. Kamara climbs in. He's going to get to the quarterback. Now you are able to have the time to do something like this more because you're there in the red zone. Indiana drops 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into coverage. Alabama has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're out there to get passes. So it's no wonder that Indiana is so good in their zone, pass defense against other teams because they're only sending four guys here, and Alabama has no other choice but to use five, sometimes six guys to block for their quarterback because Indiana does such a good job of using one defensive lineman to take up multiple offensive linemen and free up the other ones. Mikel Kamara, again, he doesn't make the sack here, but he does get Austin Mack to flush the pocket. And the zone scheme with the way it's set up is able to pick him up pretty quick, and then you get Kamara and the defender making the tackle there. It all works in so much symmetry together. Defensive line, the way it starts there, the zone, everything else. I'll show you one more here. I believe this is another pass rush. I'll have to see for sure. 29, 24. All right, so watch all these guys here on the defensive line. So this is what we call simulated pressure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage. One, yes, is very wide out here, but still 7 guys down there. Watch what Indiana does. Aiden Fisher is going to show the blitz. He's going to retreat out of it. Mikel Kamara retreats. Isaiah Jones retreats, and you have even Mario Landino is out here retreating. Who are you sending? You're sending 1, 2, 3, 4. You're sending, what is that? 1 defensive lineman to go in there. And then you have 2 defensive backs freely blitzing here, and you only have 1 offensive lineman to block them. Yes, the running back does come in there, but Austin Mack is so affected by the pressure, he throws the ball out, and I believe that was an incompletion. We can play it here and see. Yeah, that was when the dude got lit up there on the side. So, I mean, this stuff is beautiful. What Indiana does here, and it's one of the reasons why their defensive line is able to be dominant, even against some of these larger offensive lines that they face. One more time, we'll show it. Watch, I believe it's 7 over here that comes on the blitz. You're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen in there, and you're really only gonna send 1, maybe 2. I think you send 2. And then you're going to send the 2 defensive backs. Yep, 17. I apologize. I forget who 17 is. And Tucker there, I believe, and then the 2 defensive backs. So, I mean, this is nasty stuff, guys. This is nasty stuff what Indiana is able to do. It's one of the reasons why Miami can't rely on just having a big offensive line. They're gonna have to, be smarter than that. You're gonna have to not be sloppy, and they're gonna have to know exactly what's going on pre-snap. But Indiana's not cheating. They're just really, really good.